Hey guys, happy Saturday. I hope you guys are having an incredible day. Welcome to day number 5 of the Strong, Healthy and Empowered You Summit. And what better way for our Strong, Healthy and Empowered Summit than to bring in the absolute amazing Stephanie Schultz. I'm so excited for today, guys. I really admire Stephanie, so I'm kind of nervous for today, actually. So let's get her on. I'm just gonna double check. Am I in the She Collective? I am in the She Collective. I think that's like my worst fear is to go live and then be in the wrong place. So let's just tag the group. I think Stephanie is actually here. Are you here? And we're gonna get Steph on, and guys, this is gonna be high vibe, high energy. Get ready, I'm bringing her on. Are you ready? So, let me see if I can invite Stephanie. All right, if you guys know Stephanie, let me know below in the comments. If you don't know Steph, here we go, add. She is the founder of the lifestyle brand Courageously Confident, and she has scaled her online business very quickly. I believe it's been in about 12 months that she's scaled with us. So get your pens ready, get your paper, get your journal. I hope you've got a cup of tea or some water ready. Here we go. Hi!
Hi!
Welcome!
It was taking a second for me to connect. Can you hear me all good?
I can hear you. Can you hear me? Because
Yes.
I actually don't have my headphones. Okay,
Oh,
fantastic.
it's perfect. Yay!
Welcome! I'm so excited to have you. So I've just introed you. You're the founder of the lifestyle brand Courageously Confident, and you're an online health, fitness, and business coach.
Yes. Thank you so much. I'm so excited. It's a lot of things to cover, but I'm so excited to share all the things that I do with everyone watching and hopefully inspire some women on here today to just jump in and do what they love.
Oh my God. Let's take it away. So let's share a little bit about your story, because you have scaled very quickly. Is it less than 12 months?
Yes. So, I mean, I can take it right back to the beginning if you want. I can take it right back and share really what happened since the beginning if you want me to. And then we can talk about really what happened in the last, like, since 2019, what happened in my business and how it happened. So I can start from the very beginning if you'd like. And I'm going to be so real. I'm so used to interacting with comments. So if they're I don't see comments and it's driving me insane right now. So read comments as they come up.
I will definitely do that. So guys, if you have comments, if you have questions, please definitely pop them below. Victoria's saying congratulations on your recent marriage.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Okay. So
Take it away.
I'm just going to get in and share my story kind of from the beginning.
Yeah.
Because I think this is so important for people to know. So yes, thank you for introducing me, Shannon. I am Steph Schultz. If you don't know me, I'm the founder of Courageously Confident. It's a lifestyle brand that is both online and offline. I do have retreats and summits as well. So it is also an in-person brand. So from the very beginning, wow, sometimes I don't even know where to start with all of this. I think something really fun to share with people is that I never in my life ever thought like this would be my life. So I, grew up like very typical student and kid and whatever. And the plan was always to go off to university, become a primary teacher and like all these things and just go down this very like linear road of like, this is just what your life is going to be like. So that's what I did. After high school, I went off to university and I discovered a lot about myself. I discovered that I was different. I discovered that I had big dreams and ambitions and goals. I did not know what that looked like in my life. However, I also discovered that I was unhappy. I was very unhappy, just like feeling like I was waking up every day, doing the same thing, not feeling fulfilled, just kind of empty, I guess. So I kept going through with university, went 4 years, graduated, came home, and I literally remember like it was yesterday sitting in my parents' kitchen, sitting there thinking, I can't do this. I can't finish off. Cannot become a teacher. This is not what I'm going to do. I just cannot. And it was the most enlightening and scariest decision I ever made, was to say, I'm not going to keep going with this path. I'm very type A. I need the routine, the schedule. I need to know what's going to happen. So when I said, I'm not going to do this and I'm going to just play it by ear, that was the most terrifying thing, but the best decision I ever made in my life. So I just decided to quit that career path. I moved back home and I started to get part-time jobs, take little courses here and there, like fitness courses, health courses, just discovering like, who am I? Like, what do I truly want to do with my life? And so along that journey, I was also on social media documenting my own health and fitness journey. So a little backstory, when I was in university, I became so depressed that I developed an eating disorder. So I look back now and I know why it happened. It happened because I was so unhappy that I needed a distraction, and that distraction turned into counting calories and numbers and just becoming obsessed. At the time, I thought I just wanted to lose weight and whatever. But in hindsight, when I recovered and looked back, I knew that it was because I was unhappy, and that's what happened. So anyways, through this transition period, I started, it's so funny, Shannon, the other day, I scrolled back on my Instagram to see the date. I'm sure there's an easier way to do this, to see the date of my very first post. It was October 6, 2012. I started to document my life on Instagram. I had no idea what I was doing. I had no intention of becoming a coach, a mentor, or anything. I just said, I'm going to share my life with people that I have no idea who they are. And so what I discovered was that there are a lot of women who are going through the same thing that I was going through. There are a lot of women going through body image struggles, diet struggles, who are unhappy in life. There are so many people. And I felt connected. And then over time, I became a leader in this kind of community because I was like going hard, working on myself, growing, fixing, learning all these things. So I became a leader. So since 2012, I was building a business and didn't even know it. Wow. I was building a community and didn't even know it until 2 years ago, in August 2017, I started my online coaching business the day that I found out about a course on how to monetize online. I didn't even know what monetizing online was. And someone reached out to me and was like, we have this course, like the basics to building a business online. And I was like, what the heck does that even mean? Like, I don't know. But I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. And so I jumped into this program. The day that I paid for it, it was like maybe, I think $2,000. I was like, okay, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to jump in. I'm all in. I have no idea what I'm doing. I have no idea what I could ever sell to someone online. I had no idea that I could ever make money through Instagram or social media. I had no idea. But this was my mindset. If I am going to do this, if I'm going to be in this course, if I'm going to pay this money, then I'm just going to be all in. So I'm pretty sure the next day I launched an offer. I think it was like a one-time like intuitive eating consult for like $30 or something insane. Wow. And I had people say like, finally you're coaching online, like finally you're giving us something. And I was like, oh my God, I had no idea you guys wanted this, but okay. So this course, this like small course that kind of lit the fire that sparked these things, literally started my coaching journey. It literally opened the world up to me, to knowing that like, oh, I have a message. Oh, there's people wanting what I have to offer. Okay, this is amazing. And since that day 2 years ago, I was all in. I was all in and just ran with it. And here I am today. I run a multiple six-figure business. I've earned over $350,000 this year in cash. When I talk about money, I speak about it in cash. Everyone talks about money differently. I have done so many things. And I say that not to be like, look at me, I've done all these things. I say that for the woman listening, thinking, I want to start something, but I'm scared, but I don't know how, but it's going to take 10 years, but all these things. it doesn't need to be like that. It just takes courage and being all in and just being messy and taking messy action sometimes and deciding that it's going to work. So that's a little bit of my story.
Oh my goodness. Isn't it funny? I didn't even know Instagram existed in 2012.
So I remember I got an iPhone. It was my first iPhone. And I had a friend in university say, like, you need to get Instagram. And I was like, I don't even know what Instagram is. Like, I don't get it. Like, why would I post a picture? Like, whatever. And then I got it. And then I just was like, okay, it was to me a way, honestly, and this is how I still use Instagram, is just documenting my life. Like saying, this is what I'm doing today. Like, obviously it's changed. As I run a business now, but I'm still just like, this is who I am. This is where I'm at. This is what I feel like sharing today. But it is crazy how in 2012, like I have women that I met in 2012 through Instagram that are still in my communities, that are still my clients, that are still like I've met in person from all over the world. It's absolutely insane.
That is so amazing. Absolutely amazing. Ashley's just saying that you're so beautiful and I'm so happy for you and your journey.
Oh, thank you.
Hi. Samantha Nicole says hi. So,
Yay.
so you started monetizing online. You figured out, okay, I could monetize, my fitness, my life and fitness. You were selling a $30 intuitive eating program. How did things expand for you? Like, how did this go? You were all in, but what happened?
Yeah. So I guess what I really focused on at the beginning was just building a community, was nurturing people, was just getting people in my energy, in my vibes. I created a Facebook group and I was giving so much, like for free, like content. I just was running challenges and programs and things nonstop to build community and just see like, what are women going through? What do people want? I was spending a lot of time doing market research, and at the time I literally didn't know how to price. I was like, I didn't know how to price. That's something that program that I invested in didn't teach me how to do, was price. But I was more so just getting my fingers wet, like trickling in and saying like, okay, well, I'll charge $30. What can happen with $30? And then I was doing like personal workout programs for $14.99. This is my story. I still have the spreadsheet. I did hundreds of these, Shannon. Like it's insane. But what I learned, yes, $14. But the thing is, I don't ever regret doing that because I learned so much. I learned so much about being a coach, being a businesswoman, charging my worth, how much people pay, what people really pay for. It's not about the money, it's about the result. Like there's so many things. So during this time when I was not really making a lot of money, but I was doing a crap ton of work, I was learning about business and I was experimenting. So what happened from August 2017 to the end of the year, I developed Courageously Confident, the actual program, the program that still runs today. It's in its 7th session. And it's very important that I share this as well. It was my first big launch of a program. And for people starting out, I want you guys to know when I first launched this program, I had one person sign up. Although I was so confused because my community of women were telling me, we want this program, we want this, yes, we want this. So I was like, oh, the day I launch it, there's gonna be like 20 people that buy this program. I just knew it, right? I knew it. Yeah. And then I put it out there and on the first day, one. But this is one of the lessons, the things that I want people to know. One person signed up and I don't think it was until a couple weeks later, the second person signed up. And I did not stop selling the first session of Courageously Confident for 2 months. I sold it for 2 months straight until I had maybe, I think 20 to 30 people in it. And I was like, hey, I'm gonna close it for the year and then I'm gonna run it and see what happens. I didn't give up. I see so many women say like, oh, one person signed up, I can't run this program. Like, no, I was like, I'm gonna keep on selling this until I get more people in it. That was just my go-getter, like I'm gonna do this kind of mentality. And it's very important that I tell people this because women, I just feel like you feel like giving up when you don't feel like there's enough people. And that's the worst thing, because the first time it's okay if there's 1 or 3 or 10 or 7. Like, don't think there has to be a certain number. Do it anyways.
Can I ask you, from like your experience, why do you think that, why do you think we give up? And why do you think as well, like, I know a few women who have launched a program, maybe they did only get one person in it and then they didn't run it. My advice would be to still run it with that one person, right? Would you say the same?
Yes, to answer that question, 100%. If you are a leader, you do not give up. Someone said yes to you. Someone said yes to your program, to your magic, to you. You run it and you give them your everything. You give them you don't say sorry. You don't say, sorry, you signed up, but not enough people did, so we're not going to do it. Like, no way. Give them the best experience possible. And then when you do this again, you have the most incredible testimonial. You probably have a reoccurring client. Like, you are a leader. You run it no matter what. I love that. Yeah.
I love that too. And so you had one person sign up for the first round of Courageously Confident. Now, did you wait to start the program until you enrolled more, or did you kickstart that woman already?
I kickstarted it and I let more people join as I kept promoting it. I said, cool. This is amazing. I said, she paid, she signed up, she's going to start. Let's do it. I said, I want more people in. And I don't know why they're not in, but I'm going to figure out why they're not in. I'm going to figure out marketing. I'm going to figure out how to sell, what sells, what doesn't sell, what feels good. And I'm going to get more people in. And it was until I think I closed it in mid-October. I said no more people until I did like a New Year's round in the next year. So I just let her start and let her join. I nourished her. She had incredible results. And then as more people joined, I just extended it. And it was almost like a group, but very individual focused, because people were starting at different times. But again, messy action. Like, if I said no to that, I might not even be here today running what I ran if I would have given up. So to swing back, because you did ask me, why do women give up if no one signs up or one person signs up? Why do you think that is? Because we're terrified that looks like a failure. We're terrified that, there's only one person signed up, so no one's going to trust me. I'm not good at this. I'm not a good coach. Those are all lies. Those are not true. So we, of course, we're going to fear that. So when we create something and we put something out there, it's our heart and our soul. Like, we created something to help people that, like, of course we're going to feel hurt if not, a lot of people sign up. Of course we are. And I get that. But is it worth giving up, or are you going to push through and keep doing it and say, okay, I got 2 or I got 3, and then learn what you learned that time. And when you launch the next one, it's bigger and it's better and you're smarter and you're a smarter business owner and all these things. But I think we give up because we're afraid of failure. But I don't know the definition of failure. Everyone's definition of failure is different, because to me, a new client, like a business client, if my business client launches something and she gets one person, I'm like, that's a success.
Absolutely.
To me, I look at that and that's a success. So we make up whatever failure means in our mind, and then we get embarrassed and don't want to say, well, I only have one client, when you hyped this beautiful thing up. We make up stories in our mind. But what if we switch the story to, there's this one incredible person who joined and she's going to get the best experience, and people are going to regret not signing up when they see her results.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that, because I think that that's such an important journey, and especially for women who are just starting out, they can get so disheartened when that happens, and there's no need to.
No, it's the beginning. And I think we see other people who are very successful, quote unquote successful, and we expect, okay, like, if I just launch a thing, then it's going to be amazing and it's going to work. But we have to go through these things to become stronger. We have to go through these things to become resilient, and that's a huge part of this journey for sure.
Absolutely.
So I went through that, and then I went into, so that was 2017, the end of 2017, then into 2018. I was still kind of running it. I was still just doing the fitness thing. but I'm going to be very transparent. And if there's any questions from people on here, say the comment, say the question. So I ran and sold the second session. And then into the beginning of 2018, I was like, I'm not happy. I'm not happy. Why am I not happy? I'm not happy in my business. Something feels off. Something's not connecting. I feel like I'm making money. Like, I don't know. Like, what's wrong? Like, what's wrong?
Mm-hmm.
And that is when I realized that I am not just Fitness Steph. I'm known very much as Fitness Steph on Instagram, on everywhere, but I was holding back other pieces of my heart and my soul and who I am. I was holding back mindset work. I was holding back teaching, social media. I used to call myself undercover business coach because I would see what other people were doing. And I'm like, oh, you should do this. I was holding back because I was taught in my first course that I had to niche down. And if I wanted to be successful, I had to be that one coach that only, coaches this type of person. And I hated it because I do not fit in a box. I just can't. And it was driving me insane. So when I figured that out, I realized, oh, I can launch a mindset program. I can launch a confidence program. I can start to do business coaching. I can do all these things. And that's when, if people follow me through my whole journey, I say, do you remember the balloon photos? The balloon photos
Yes.
are the representation of when I stopped being just Fitness Steph and stepped into, I can be whatever I want to be, and I'm just going to roll with it. So that's when I had this whole new essence and confidence and just outlook on, I am Stephanie Schultz. I can create what I want to create. I grow every single day and I change every single day. And as a leader, I'm not going to hold that back. I'm going to be all in. I am going to show women that you can be all kinds of things and it's okay to be all kinds of things. And so my first business coaches were telling me, no, don't change. But as soon as I started to change and be myself, my business exploded. New people started following me. My community on Facebook started to grow. I started to attract more women that I really wanted to attract, like ambitious women, women who are like, oh yes, I want it all, that type of vibe. Mm-hmm. So I really, last summer, stepped into that energy, that vibe. I leveled up my branding, just who I am. I worked so much on my mindset, my money mindset, all these things. And I just decided that I'm all in and I'm going to do this. And I'm just going to, whenever I get an idea, I'm a generator. So when I want to do something, I'm like, let's do all the things and let's go. And It works for me. It works for me. And I'm all in and I listen to my intuition. That's another key thing that I want women to know is the best thing you can do for yourself in life and if you're running a business is listen to your intuition. So if your heart and soul is telling you, you're like, oh, there's this program, there's this thing that I want to teach, I want to help women with, but what are people going to think of me if I do that? Or, what if it's not good enough, right? And we ignore our intuition. It's the worst thing you can do. If you can feel that pull in your body, like calling you to do something, I am telling you to do it and it will be the best thing for you. It'll make you so happy and it'll probably be the most successful thing in your business, in your life, is just listen to what your heart and your soul is telling you to do.
Can I ask a question? And there's a couple here as well. So okay. How you evolved. So can I ask, when did you decide to invest in a one-on-one coach, and what was that experience like for you? As she pops on, what was
Melanie?
What was that experience like for you, knowing in this journey that there was more for you and you knew it? Deciding on that, what can you explain that? Because that must have been for you like that next level, not only going all in, but that next level decision and next level potential anxiety and fear. Can you talk about that? Because I know that's big for women.
So I remember, I think maybe March, April 2018, a weekend. Never in my life did this happen except for this weekend. I did not leave my bed. I cried all weekend. I was literally in a depressive state. because I was so unhappy. I was like, I'm trying to build a business that I love, but I'm so unhappy. That was the breaking point. And I said, I need something. There's something missing and I don't know what it is. I can feel that something's missing, but I need something. And so what happened was I knew of one-on-one coaches. I knew of different people I was like interested in. And I had to sit with myself and say, how do I decide to pick a one-on-one coach? Like, I did not know this. And there was a few people that I reached out to, and I don't know if Melanie's still on here. Everyone knows Melanie's my one-on-one coach. She's my heart and soul. But I did not know Melanie. And I saw one video that she did a live stream, and I was like, she is speaking to exactly how I am feeling. So I messaged her and I said, how do I work with you? Or what can we set up? And we got on a call, and I finally felt heard and understood. Like I most definitely cried on our discovery call, or whatever you want to call it. I felt like she saw through me. She saw what I was holding back, and that I needed that to release and step into my power. I needed that. So I hit a breaking point. I was so sad. I was confused why I was doing all the things, but I felt so unhappy. And then it just so happened that I fell across Melanie, and we talked and connected, and I've been with her. I'm still with her since. And it has changed the game for me, not just because of strategy or this or that, because when kind of side note, I've shared this before. I recently had someone reach out to me and say, Steph, you're so successful, but why do you have a coach if you're so successful? And I said, because I still have a lot of things to work on. I'm never done growing. I want to grow every day. I want to learn every day. I want to break through my barriers. I want to learn all kinds of things. And in order to do that, we need an outsider perspective. We need someone to look at us and say, this is what's going on. Let's work through it. So, the power of investing, I remember that was a $6,000 or $7,000 investment. And it was kind of funny. I remember I knew I was going to do it. I knew I was, but I was almost like waiting for permission. I waited until Eric at the time was my boyfriend. Now he's my husband. I waited for him to get home. And I was like, Eric, I talked to this woman and it's going to be $7,000. And I was like, oh my God, freaking out. And he's like, well, just do it. Just do it. And I'm like, okay. And that was another moment where I was just like, I'm all in. I'm all in. And I literally remember day and night, like I changed. The next day I was like, I'm a new woman. I'm going to do this.
Oh my God, I love it. So for someone who's out there, I really want to encourage this for anyone who's out there. Also, like, coaching has been something that has changed my life. And as you say, like, having that outside perspective, someone who can see, in your blind spot is so helpful. What would you say to someone who might be thinking about that? Can you share a little bit about that? And then we'll go back and dive into the questions that are coming.
Yes. So, it is scary. It is. It's scary because we don't know what's going to happen. It's scary because we're investing a lot of money, maybe like money that we've never spent before on ourselves. It is terrifying. It's something we've never done before. It's uncomfortable. It's I go through phases when I invest. It's like you're so excited and then you're like, oh my God, what did I just do? It's like this roller coaster of emotions. And I understand that. I get that. I've felt that many times. I still feel that when I invest a lot of money. But the thing is, like, is it worth staying in your safe zone? Or can you take that leap of faith that feels so scary, but you do it anyways, and to see what you can become on the other side? Is it worth you holding back and not sharing your magic with the world just to be comfortable? Like, imagine if it was just $7,000 or $10,000 or whatever it is, and you finally are able to share the magic that's in your heart and soul, and you can change people's lives. Like, that's what it is. You're here. You want to be here. All it takes is a getting across the bridge, stepping into it. And it's the scariest step, but it's the most empowering step. I tell people the moment you sign up and say yes or make the payment and the program doesn't start yet or your coaching doesn't start yet, you've already started it because you decided to be a leader. You decided that you're all in. You decided in that moment that you're done being where you are and you're ready to move into the next version of yourself. So it's hard. It's uncomfortable, but that doesn't mean don't do it. It just means that you're stepping into something so beautiful and so new.
I love that. Thank you so much. So let's dive into some of these that are coming through. Yeah. Jasmine says, do you think that niching down initially is what made it possible for you to be successful to then expand later?
Yes, this is a very common question and something I think about quite a lot. So let's bring it back to 2012 when I started my Instagram. No business, no niching, no really anything. I was creating connections. So you can niche down. Yes, I was fitness and health and food, and I attracted a lot of women who had bad body image and eating disorders. So I had that community. But more than deciding what I wanted to coach on, it was about that I was creating genuine connections. I was creating connections and community. Yeah. So yes, I do believe that at the beginning we should be very focused on being known for one thing. I think that's very helpful, especially if you're starting out and you're confused, like you want to do a lot and all the things you want to do are possible. But I say make something really good at the start. And once it's really good, then expand. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me see here. Jasmine says, I would imagine that because you are already had a following and trust, it made it easier for new people to be able to follow you because others had trusted you.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. You can have 1,000 followers on Instagram. You can have 30,000 followers. You can have 100,000 followers. None of that determines whether you have a successful business or not. It comes back to connection. Absolutely, I have social proof. I've got social proof for a very long time of people following me and taking my free advice or taking my $30 programs and stuff like that. The social proof is there. And I'm sure, yes, it does make it easier for other people to join when they see that you have a large following. But I always come back to connection. Like I respond to every comment. I respond to every DM. And that's me. I have no one, like Shannon, you messaged me today, like, who's your VA? I'm like, I don't have one. Like, no one responds to the comments. No one responds to DMs except for me. I make the connection because I care about the people who care enough to DM me or to comment to me. Yeah. So I guess, it's less about the number and more about your connection and more about, nurturing the people who are in your groups and nurturing your clients. And that will just build. We want the people who are all in. I used to believe I want to help everybody. I used to say, I want everyone in my program. I want everyone to come to my events. I want everyone. And I realized that's impossible, but also I don't want everyone. I want the go-getters. I want the ambitious women. I want the people who are all in, so I nurture the people who reach out to me and create connections. And that's the biggest thing since the beginning, since 2012 and still today, 2019.
I love that. And it's so important, isn't it? And especially too, when you are starting out, those vanity metrics can really get you and you feel like you're not making the connections and you feel like you aren't, creating the impact because of the numbers, when in actual fact, the numbers really aren't a very good measure of the connections and relationships that you're building to therefore impact the women to make the change.
And I want you to remember too that there are people following and they don't ever like or comment.
Yes.
And one day they're going to show up in your inbox and you're going to say, who the heck are you? And they're going to say, I want your service or I want your thing. And it's the funnest thing because I'm like, well, where did you come from? Yeah. So remember, people are following, but maybe they're just not engaging, and that's okay.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that. So we've got a few more here. Now, Diane says, I feel this also. Something is missing. I have more to offer women, but I don't see makeup and recovery work from addiction meshing. Like stop drinking and try this new lip gloss.
So you feel, is that the question?
Or I think it's not a question. It's more like a comment.
You know what? Here's what I have to say to that. In 2019, right now in the online space, I think we can make anything work. We can make anything mesh. We can get creative, and if you're fun and people like it, heck, whatever. Yes. But if you feel like something's missing, go experience something different. I think we get in habits of doing the same thing over and over, or maybe we haven't had a coach to look at our give us a perspective from the outside to maybe say, this is maybe what's going on. Maybe you've got some limiting beliefs in certain areas, and that can open you up to saying, like, this is my next level. This is my next thing. So go experience, dig deep into what you're feeling, what you're going through. That's something, again, women, we avoid because we don't want to feel negative things. Like, I don't want to admit, like, oh my God, I'm lonely, or oh my God, I'm sad, or I'm unhappy. But we need to figure those things out and figure out why, and then figure out how we can fulfill those things to get to our next level.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a few more comments going on here. That's a great thing to note. Thank you so much. Diane's throwing some kisses over. I didn't realize that you couldn't actually see the comments as the guest.
I can't. It's okay.
That's okay. So, I would love to have a little bit of a chat with you, and get your guidance on what it's like, because your health and fitness journey is still a very big part of your entrepreneurial journey. How do you fit it all in? How do you create balance in your life? It's different for those of us who have children, trying to create balance, trying to live a healthy life and run a business. But from your perspective, like, what are the things that you're doing that make this possible? Because it really is a big piece of the puzzle to maintaining our energy and maintaining our vibe inside of our entrepreneurial journey, is looking after ourselves, right?
Mm-hmm. You have to, like, I know we're all busy. Like, we're all busy, and I don't have kids yet, so I can't speak on that, but I'm still very busy. We're all busy. We can make up all the excuses, but the thing is, we need energy to show up for our clients, to show up online, to show up in our businesses. And if we are not putting ourselves first, we're going to get burnt out really, really fast. So I have things that I call my non-negotiables. These are things that I need for my, like, physical health and mental health to keep me running my business at in the best way that I can. Those things for me include fitness, sleep. I'm a girl. I need my sleep. If I don't get sleep, then I'm a hot mess and I'm just all over the place. I need to go to bed at a reasonable time. I need to turn off messages at a certain time, although I have been guilty at answering at weird hours of the night. We've all been there. But look at yourself and decide, like, what do you really need to feel good? And then decide, these are my non-negotiables. You're gonna do them. You're planning them in your week, your day, whatever, and you will follow through. So for me, I created a lifestyle where I do not do any calls or collaborations or things, except for today, before 1 p.m. You're special, Shannon. You're so special.
Thank you. They're all special.
So I decided for myself, and I have a freedom in my life where my morning, I wake up and I'll do check-ins and I'll do social media and that kind of stuff. But I don't feel for myself the best energy to be on coaching calls or even do live trainings until the afternoon or evening. So I serve my cup first. I fill my cup first. So I do what I need to do. I take a slow morning. I go to the gym. I energize myself. I come home, get ready, and then I start my quote unquote work day. That's what works for me. And then again, always quality sleep and then feeling my best with my nutrition. So I know everyone's life looks really different, but so if you're having trouble finding balance right now, look at the things that you need to do to make yourself feel good, and then say, where can I fit them in that I can still balance my business and all the things that you need to do in your daily life for your business and your health. Like, I look at it's my whole life. My whole life is business. My whole life is fitness. My whole life is now I'm a wife. My whole life is all these things. It doesn't have to be bits and pieces. It's just, I'm all of it. And if I'm going to be all of it, then I've got to show up for all of it.
I love that. Sharon's watching this on the treadmill.
Ooh, I love it.
That is good. So I know that one of the things that we wanted to discuss today as well was the power of taking courageous action in your business. So do you want to share a little bit on that? Like, what does it look like? Can you give us a tangible that we could walk away with today? We'd love to hear a little bit about that.
Absolutely. So I feel so happy that I see so many women have huge goals, dreams, and missions. Like they're driven. We've got the things we want to build the business. We want to help people. I see women just want to do all these things. And then I see women 6 months later saying, I haven't started yet. I haven't done the thing yet. A year later, I'm still in the same spot. And I say, well, what's missing? You didn't take the first step. The first step is the hardest. It's saying, I'm going to decide to invest in myself and figure out how to do this. So when you take courageous action, I think I touched on it a little bit before, we wait for it to feel like this is perfect. This feels so good. This is easy. It does not feel like that. It feels scary. It feels like, oh my God, what am I doing? That's how it should feel. So if you move and make a decision while you're scared, you're going to up level like crazy. So for example, I ran my first ever summit in April. And I just decided I'm going to make an event. I had no idea what I was doing. I ran the event I live in a small city in Pembroke, Ontario. This type of thing is not normal. Coaching is not normal here. I am like the magical unicorn of this city. People think I'm insane. They don't know what I do. But I said, I'm going to run this empowering event and it's going to be amazing. And then I hired an event planning team and all these things. And then I was like, oh my God, I don't think anyone is going to come. I was like, no one's going to buy tickets. I was like, oh my God. And I had that fear, but I kept going. I kept planning. I invested I spent like $1,000 on balloons. Like I did all these things and I still had no idea. I'm like, there might be 5 people here. And I had no idea until the day of the event. I walked in and I saw a lineup of women and I might like get emotional. And I was like, I did it. Like people here want this. And I honest to God said, I had no idea people were going to show up. I had no idea. And I did it all. I invested time and money and planning into this, but people showed up. And it's the same for you. If it's investing in a business coach or a mindset coach or a fitness coach, and you don't know the outcome, but you'll never know unless you just try, unless you jump in. So take a moment, take a breath and say, this is a risk, but I'm willing to take this risk because my dreams are big, my goals are big, my ambitions are big, and I am going to do this. So I think a tangible thing is really, if anything, people watching this now or on the replay, take a look inward, reflect, go off of social media, don't look at anything, and sit with yourself and say, what do I want? And what support do I need to get there? Does that mean it's investing? Does that mean it's outsourcing? What does that mean? And then ask yourself, why am I so afraid? Why am I so afraid of that? It's come back to failure. Yeah. So it's a lot of inner work. It's a lot of inner work. You don't have to wait for the perfect moment. There is no perfect moment. You don't have to wait to have a certain amount of followers. You just decide to be all in.
Absolutely. And you take the messy action.
Yeah.
Yeah. One foot in front of the other.
Yes.
Absolutely. If anyone has any final questions, we've almost been on for about 15 minutes, drop them below for us. But if there is one thing that you could leave everybody with today, what would that be?
Oh my God.
2 things, 3 things.
So I'm going to get a little deep here. So I'm a woman who I can be funny, I can be sarcastic, I can be really deep. I'm kind of all over the place. I truly believe in my heart and my soul that if you have a desire to create something, it is your purpose to live it out. And I believe it is a disservice to yourself and to other people who need that for you to stay scared and not do it. So go and freaking do it. If you feel it in your heart, go do it. Go start. We're not here to live mediocre, boring lives. We're here to have adventure and do things and experiment and learn about ourselves. Go and do it. Play it big. Be all in. I was having a discussion with, we all know now, Melanie is my coach. I said, how did this work? And we decided it worked because I don't give up. When there's a problem, we fix it. When I start to doubt myself, I bring it up and I say, we need to fix this. Like there's no giving up. That's just what it is. And I know that might sound tough love to people, but just if you just decide to never give up, it will always work.
Absolutely. I love that. Thank you so much. I think this is a beautiful pep talk that everybody needed. Everyone is saying go all in. Yes, the time flew with this one. Fabulously motivating live. Thank you so much. Holy shit. You guys are wonderful. Really enjoyed this. Thank you so much.
That's amazing. That makes me so happy.
And me too. Thank you so much for being here, guys. Don't forget to take a screenshot of us. Tag us over on Instagram. I put our handles above the live today. We really appreciate you. Thank you so much. And I appreciate you, Steph. Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. I had a great time. I'll talk to you ladies soon. I'll go in the comments and give you guys some love as well.
Okay, bye.
Okay,
bye.
bye.
Everybody.